and welcome to Senora Tommy's Biblioteca on YouTube. If you haven't already, please subscribe. I am already I think I'm at 107 subscribers, but who's counting, right? So, anyhow, if you haven't already, please subscribe and smack the bell so that you can get notifications and never miss a video. So today is Chapter Book Thursday, and I will be recommending my newest chapter book for all of my chapter book readers here at Sunset. So I am in love with this book. Like, this is my new Augie. I'm not kidding. Ross is the main character of this book, and Ross is the new Augie. I'm not kidding. It's fabulous. So this book is called Wink, and it is by Rob Harrell. And I read this book. I got this book as an advanced reader copy from Petunia's Place. Thank you so much, Petunia's Place, for letting me have a copy so that I can read. I also double-checked just to be certain, and there is, this book is available on our Sora app. You will have to select Fresno County Library as an additional library to the Fresno Unified Library, and you can find it through the Fresno County Public Library, but it is available there. So, Wink, Rob Harrell. Let me read the back to you first. So, it says, Ross Malloy, which is the name of my character, just wants to be a normal 7th grader. He doesn't want to lose his hair or wear a weird hat or deal with the disappearing friends who don't know what to say to the cancer kid. But with his recent diagnosis of a rare eye cancer, blending in is off the table. Based on Rob Harrell's real life experience, so the book is based upon the author's real experience. He had cancer when he was in middle school, and packed with comic panels and spot art, this incredibly personal and poignant novel is an unforgettable, hilarious, and uplifting story of survival and finding the music, magic, and laughter in life's weirdness. So, I adore this book, one, because it is a middle school book, and so we already know that middle school is kind of a weird couple of years to navigate in people's lives, and so he is sort of navigating that, and one of the things that he uses to navigate is he does these little like panels of comics, and so he has these little comic panels that he does, and he has a little character that he makes up called Bat Pig, and he does crazy things like saving the world or talking to the pretty girl or those kinds of things. And they're out throughout the book, and it's one of the ways that he kind of deals with some of the stuff that's going on with him. And then I also wanted to just quickly read you this because I wanted you to kind of see the tone of the author and how it reminds me of Wonder, because it's such a sad issue, right? Like, just with Augie and his face deformities, Ross in our book Wink, he has eye cancer, and it is a very rare form. And so there are moments when, he's really having to think about very grown-up issues, like what happens if he loses his vision in his eye, or what happens if it goes really bad and he doesn't make it through it and he ends up dying. And so he faces these really scary things, and he does it with such a sense of humor, and he starts to kind of learn a lot more about himself. And so I think it's wonderful. So I'm going to read you a quick section of it, and for some reason I didn't put my bookmark where it was supposed to be. Okay, so it's chapter 8, and he finds out from his doctor that he has to wear a hat all the time. So not just like outside, not just like at school, he has to wear a hat all the time. And it can't be like a baseball hat. It has to be a wide brimmed hat so that it covers his eyes, right? So it's like protecting his face because he has that eye cancer. And so he's talking to his best friend, and he says, I have to start wearing a hat, a big wide brimmed one to keep the sun off my face. Apparently, because of all the radiation I'm getting from the treatments, I need extra protection from UV rays. And not just when I'm outside. Oh no, everywhere. Indoors, everywhere there are windows, at home, in the car, at the hospital, in school. Doctor's orders, he'd say. The risk for sun exposure are blah, 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 blah. Not to blah, but blah, 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 blah. The rest of our talk is a blur to me because all I heard in my head was panic, rushing blood, brain static. All chances at being at halfway normal 7th grader are slipping away from me. And now Abby, who is his best friend, and are studying the only wide-brimmed hats my dad and I could find at the mall. My dad insisted on getting all 3 so I could think about it. Well, what am I gonna do? The doctor's like the smartest guy in the world. So he says I need it, and my shoulders slump. And so these are his choices. He has this one, right? Because it's wide brim. And she says, look at this one. It has a little cape in the back here. And she says, so you can keep the flies off your neck. That's really smart, Abby says. And then they start looking at this one, and then she says, fantastic. I can take off the hat and put on the one that makes me think of Gilligan's Island. So here's another choice his dad bought him. So that choice, right? And then they try the 3rd hat on, and it's a straw cowboy hat looking, it's a straw cowboy hat looking thing with edges on the brim rolled up. And so he says, okay, that one really isn't that bad. I mean, it's horrible, but it's less horrible than the others, partner. And so he walks over to the floor-length mirror on her closet door, and he sees a cowboy staring back at him. I just need a piece of straw sticking out of my mouth. I look like I'm going to a hoedown. And Abby pushes the other hats aside and sits on the edge of her bed. It's not that bad. You'll get through it. Why don't you just write doctor orders really big on your hat? And so that's what Ross goes on to do. He chooses the cowboy hat, and really big he writes doctor's orders on the front of it. So that way, if anyone at school questions him as to why he's wearing the hat, they know just by looking at the hat. So I love this book. This book really, really has my heart. I very, very much recommend it to, I would say, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade. Perfect time to read it. I think it is fabulous. And just like Augie has won the hearts of many of us, Ross will win the heart of you, and you are going to be rooting for him every single page of this book. Check it out. You won't be disappointed. You'll love it as much as I did. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.